So spring training's like in full swing right now, and I'm not entirely sure when the new season's supposed to start around. And the Dodgers picking up Freddie Freeman out of seemingly nowhere, they're going to have a great lineup, okay? Regardless, even losing Corey Seager, they have many bats in that lineup. And the starting rotation is mostly intact, except for one, like very significant piece, which they could use to just, I don't know, completely dominate the NL. But there still hasn't been a decision from stupid MLB lacking any sort of fucking evidence. But we do have development when it comes to Mr. Trevor Bauer here. He's suing The Athletic. And he's suing the reporter that ran that hit piece that caused all of these fucking problems. So you'll love to see it. Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer suing The Athletic and a reporter for defamation after charges were never filed following accusations he punched and choked a woman during sex. Oh, he committed an assault. Oh, he practically cracked her skull in half, right? Cool. It ran through what? The Pasadena Police Department. It ran through a courtroom. And guess who was found to have done absolutely nothing wrong? Trevor Bauer. Guess who was found to do absolutely something completely wrong? Probably The Athletic and probably Molly Knight. God. Why, oh why, Trevor, do you have to continue to beat up on little blondes? I guess he has the type. Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer lobbed a fastball at The Athletic, and one of its former reporters, highlighting formers, so he's going to end up bearing the brunt end of this defamation suit, the one that actually has money, filing a defamation suit over the claims that he fractured the skull of a woman who accused him of punching and choking her during sex. That would insinuate that he committed assault and battery, because that was never bore out by literally anybody. That's accusing him of committing a crime, a very serious crime, a violent crime, in fact, some would say, most statutes in the law would say. And because that wasn't true and they ran with that, that's a defamation, my guys. Bauer, 31, is suing Molly Knight and the website for defaming him by creating and spreading the false narrative that Mr. Bauer fractured the complainant's skull. The lawsuit filed on Tuesday stated, Knight also allegedly stated that the victim's skull was cracked. I remember reading that a lot from The Athletic reporting. There was no basis for the assertion because the complainant's own medical records, which The Athletic possessed, showed that she had no such fracture. So even trying to weasel out of the fact that, we didn't know. She just claimed that her skull was cracked. Those were her words, but you guys had her medical information, so you willingly ran a knowingly untrue statement? That doesn't look good for you. Oh, God, this is just making me hard. Bauer said the lawsuit that the defendants acted with actual malice because they deliberately ignored the truth. There it is. Which was evident in the medical records possessed by The Athletic. Yeah, does she have a cracked skull? No, but it sounds really good in an article when we're trying to smear somebody who doesn't really toe the narrative line on things. The defendants' defamatory statements were part of a campaign to harass Mr. Bauer, as evidenced by, among other actions, their prior and subsequent false and misleading statements about his conduct and character, their efforts to dissuade Major League Baseball teams from signing him, and their strident complaints about the Los Angeles Dodgers' decision to add him to their team. Yeah, also tortious interference claims, okay? Because by running that story with knowingly false information, tried to get him blacklisted from the league, tried to get the Dodgers and Major League Baseball to break the contract because, he violated the domestic violence policy that's a part of the collective bargaining agreement. Okay, cool, but everything was knowingly false. What you guys ran was false, which would have, if your efforts were successful, would be an even bigger story than it already is. Even though most people have just kind of moved on from this topic already, but here I am for sheer completion's sake, and because, once again, this is a very high-profile Me Too case, which, again, it was very obvious from the outset that's exactly what this is. And now one of the biggest Me Too cases is going to be going to trial in April, I think, or something like that. Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, okay? I don't really have that much care in the situation due to the players involved. But that is going to be central to taking down the power of these false claims, these obvious lies that are just made without any repercussion. Oh yeah, it's illegal to file a false police report, but how often does that get enforced? Let's be honest, okay? You have to go through and you have to make an exceptional amount of spectacle in order to raise the ire of the police department. Just take a look at Jussie Smollett. If it wasn't for him continuing to try to instigate a race war, he would have got away scot-free with just making those obviously misleading statements. So that case there, the Heard Depp trial, is going to be the first time in a long time that a high-profile, knowingly false Me Too accusation that was successful for a long time until it was proven to be otherwise, thanks to the amateur investigative journalism that Johnny Depp was doing as well, unknowing to Amber Heard that he was recording the information. I'm getting a lot of that stuff wrong, or I'm leaving out a bunch of stuff as well, because like I said, I don't know a bunch about that, but I'll be dipping into some coverage because that trial is supposed to be 6 weeks long, and doing a video every single day on it would just make me want to, I don't know, catch a fucking beating from Trevor here. But like, he's fighting back now. That's what Johnny Depp's doing. Somebody who I have absolutely no love for, because he is, one of those guys that would hate me just for my politics, where I have a little bit more deference for Trevor Bauer because he just kind of does his own thing. Is he a Trump supporter? Is he a conservative guy? Don't really know. He's just really good at throwing a baseball and really poor at picking sexual partners. That's your stereotypical jock. Anyways, let's get back to this. The Athletic, which was purchased by the New York Times. Wow, a New York Times outlet knowingly running false information only to later reverse course on things. Who could have ever seen that happening? For $550 million in January, said it was aware of Bauer's suit and that they are confident in her reporting and plan to defend against the claims, said the New York Post. Oh, New York Post reporting on what the New York Times was saying. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. But they don't, the New York Times here doesn't really have a very good track record when it comes to defamation suits recently. Just mutter the name Project Veritas and James O'Keefe around them for proof of concept on that one. This is Bauer's second defamation lawsuit. He also sued Deadspin. Thank God somebody's got to. Knight, who also wrote for the New York Times best-selling book, The Best Team Money Can Buy, the Los Angeles Dodgers' wild struggle to build a baseball powerhouse, had no comment, according to the Los Angeles Times. Oh, different times. It paid off in 2020, and it's probably going to pay off again in 2022, let's be fair. But I thought, okay, this was a picture of Lauryn Hill. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Hill, by the way, the supposed assault victim. Never got assaulted, stupid. But yeah, no, that's the reporter. So, like I said, she's definitely got a type. Just saying. And of course, that would be her at a Dodgers game. No further comment. The former Cy Young Award winner pitcher was accused last July. God, that's been July already, of choking a woman into unconsciousness, punching her repeatedly, and forcibly having anal sex without her consent during 2 sexual encounters. The strongly denied allegations and unprovable, in fact, claims, by the way, because yeah, you can make all the claims you want. If you can't back them up, though, you're going to face the consequences. It's one of those things that some of the idiots out there like to repeat, and hey, if they want to do it, I'll throw it back at them. You have the freedom of speech, but you don't have a freedom from consequences. It's retarded, but it's what they'd parrot anyways. Last month, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office issued a statement saying, after a thorough review of all the available evidence, including a civil restraining order proceedings, which was initially the red flag that Trevor really didn't do anything wrong, anything lawfully wrong. His decision to fuck around with this idiot is probably the biggest red flag, and the only thing that you could point to him as doing anything wrong about. But witness statements, which were also just really bad for her as well, and the physical evidence, the people are unable to prove the relevant charges beyond a reasonable doubt, so we can't even bring them. Yeah, that sucks. Because you've seen, even just over the past year, the amount of charges that'll just be handed out by district attorney's office. Did Kyle Rittenhouse's name ring a bell? That was such obvious self-defense, but a motivated prosecutor will literally bring charges to anybody that they think that they can railroad. And if it wasn't for $2 million in fundraising and winning the court of public opinion on it, that kid would be behind bars, thanks to the spin that was going on that. And it was also one of those things where it's like, you have all the evidence available to you. How can you not say that that is self-defense, at least for a bunch of those charges as well? And in fact, one was so patently laughable, it was dropped before the jury had an opportunity to just decide the whole host of them. That was the gun charge. It's like, is he 17? He was at the time. Okay, is there an exception for him carrying the gun? Yes. Did he carry it across state lines? No. Oh, okay, cool. So he was legally allowed to be carrying that gun that night? Yes. Oh, okay, cool. So why is he being charged with having an illegal possession of a firearm? Oh, yeah, about that. Oh, yeah, a motivated prosecutor will try to charge anybody. So for them to just say, yeah, the charges that are being asked for can't be, placed beyond even somewhat of a doubt. I hate to see it. TMZ reported that Bauer won't face charges. Yeah, that's what they said here, in part because the text messages sent between the woman to Bauer indicated that she wanted to have rough sex with him, and there was multiple encounters, and this was months after the fact that all of this went down. So Bauer, who is in the second year of a 3-year, $102 million contract with the Dodgers, did not pitch for the team after like halfway through a really decent season he was having. However, he didn't lose any of his salary. Oh, he's still getting paid. He was in the prime of his fucking life on a 3-year deal specifically designed for him to maximize his value after that 3-year term to make an even more ludicrous amount of money. So this bitch right here made some fucking false claims against him in order to fuck up his life going forward. So he's not going to get as much money as he's going to be entitled to, okay, based on his ability to perform on the diamond. He's going to have to wear this, even though he didn't do anything legally wrong, okay? Morally, ethically, you can have those conversations, and I'll let fucking square people decide that, okay? But even just going through this article and still just trolling all of the sports sites, I'm just waiting for him to get reinstated and then just absolutely go on a tear in the NL, because buddy, a motivated, well-rested Trevor Bauer is going to be a fucking problem for the National League, especially the National League West, which is just a funny state of affairs, because what the hell are the Rockies doing? But anyways, we might be able to have a conversation about the building of these different teams during the offseason and how they're going to be performing going forward in 2022, but anyways, this is about Trevor Bauer. Once again, the guy didn't do anything wrong, and I wish him nothing but the best when it comes to successfully suing The Athletic and Molly Knight, because as opposed to Trevor not doing anything wrong, they definitely, knowingly, and maliciously did shit wrong. With all of that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. Why don't you follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.